welcome to the Erik Show, everybody. We're here at Phoenix Country Club. Is that right? Great. We're going to do a podcast with Shane Bacon. We're going to play a few holes, and then we're going to put it all together in a video. This looks pretty sweet. How pretty, senor? Morning. How is everybody?
Good.
Hey, fellas.
How are you?
I'm Colt.
We're going to play 9, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, people are already on
9, 6, whatever. Thanks. 2, 1.
They're just
Take me to a par 3 and give me a bucket.
So, I think we're probably only going to play 9. Do you guys want to go get some?
There was quite a few gaps.
Why don't you hit range balls anymore?
Golf's long day, 4.5 hours. Range balls is another 30 minutes, and you got to putt. That's like 10 minutes. So I'm just no range balls anymore. I think I cold turkey, at least for the first few holes. I feel like I know what I'm doing too. So
I don't even really want to play 18. I want to play 12.
yeah, 9. 9's the way to go.
But you're even, unlike me, like I'm just a casual golfer. You're like a competitive golfer. You like have game. What's your handicap right now?
I don't know. It's
Moment
like
of truth.
It's like a +2 right now.
How is that? I mean, like that's amazing. And like you're just like I don't even want to hit balls.
Let's go play.
Let's go. Let's cruise.
That will work. Low riser.
This is great. Friday morning out here with Shane Bacon. Shane and I first met when you worked for that's right. Shane and I first met when he worked for Back 9. Shane, remember when you worked for Back 9? That was a while ago. You were playing competitively, and then Back 9 reached out and said, "Do you want to host?"
I was writing, and they asked if I would come do some TV stuff, and I always wanted to. So that's kind of how I got into it. And I mean, you know, without me doing that 5 days a week, I don't think I'd ever had a chance to do any TV stuff.
Right.
That's not going to get there.
So let's talk LPGA. What do you see as being the difference? You're so invested in the game on a competitive level. How do you see the difference between the LPGA and the PGA Tour?
You know, LPGA players, to me, like the PGA Tour players are like trying to play, you know, like hoops and look at it like Giannis and being like, that's how I want to play basketball. It's like, yeah, of course you do. He's, 7'1" and can jump 50 inches. But like, with the LPGA, you're getting these players that hit a 270 in the fairway on every hole. Like that makes more sense to like a golfer that's trying to like see something they can work on.
So Shane knows how to play golf on camera. What'd you just say, Shane?
Try to hit a field goal through the palm trees. I don't necessarily say it's a high percentage play.
Playing golf on camera actually makes it a little bit more creative.
This is either going to be great or I'm going to make 6.
Oh, a foot.
Did
1
you catch
foot.
Ugh.
Boom. Welcome everybody, and welcome Shane Bacon to the Erik Show.
What's the best feeling in golf? I say The chip in is pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
I mean, the long putt's awesome. Knocking maybe a long iron on the green or doing something like that. Maybe a great par save. But a chip in is a feeling where, you go get out of the hole and you're like, that was awesome. This is exactly why I play.
Right, and it's something that is mildly repeatable and maybe slightly common. Maybe for me, it's once or twice a year. How many chip-ins do you get a year? Must be good. 20.
No, I mean, it just depends on how much you play. I mean, you might. I couldn't tell you the last time I chipped in. I think I chipped in. I was playing with some buddies the other day, and I chipped in for par. Now that's the one where
That's good.
You run to the hole and get it out of there.
Yeah. Shane, are you familiar with Ace Cam?
You're always rolling, right?
Always rolling. When's the next par 3?
Next hole.
Next hole. Welcome to Ace Cam, 13th hole, Phoenix Country Club. Shane Bacon and I are going to attempt 190 into the wind. Shane, how many hole-in-ones do you have to date?
0.
Wow, it's still 0.
Still 0. I almost made it here like 2 weeks ago. I got 7. I don't think it's
7 iron. I have a 4 iron. I literally just feel like I turned 90. I'm like,
gotta go.
Oh,
That's in the
come on.
Oh, baby.
I can't get that cut out of it.
That one is going to be swimming. Yep. Well,
Don't go right.
guess what? Another day.
What should we do? Should we...
I am curious to talk about waste management. Is the 16th all about the hole-in-one? Is that what's happening? The psychology? You must have been a bunch of times.
I think you see more guys hit bad wedge shots because they're trying to play aggressive. Maybe if that hole's like 8 or 14 and it's not the stadium and all that stuff, I mean, it's a wedge or a 9 iron for these guys. But, they're all trying to stuff it because they want to get the cheers and all that stuff. So I think you see like when that pin's back left, it's a tough pin. I mean, on a regular golf course for a regular professional, they're going to hit it 15, 20 feet right of that flag every day. But it's like we want to stuff one in there. We want to get the cheers and maybe make a 1. So they all go for it. I did PGA Tour Live 2 years in a row. 16 was one of our holes. There'd be dudes back left, long left, and it's dead there. You're making 4. And they all are hitting shots at it because they want to have something special happen, I used to look at 18 holes of golf as this like big umbrella, okay?
Yeah.
And that's what I was doing. And I've started to kind of like section the holes off. It's like its own battle, like every single hole has nothing to do with the other one. It's almost like baseball, how all the players are kind of individuals even though they're on a team. And it's so like you have to conquer 18 separate battles to play well, like you can't have one screw up hole. And it's so like, but if you do, you've got 17 more holes to kind of make it up. So as opposed to me going, man, I played great on the front or man, I played great on the back, I've been trying to kind of think about it more like I'm stepping up on 16T and my entire goal is to play this hole well. And it doesn't matter if I did well on 15, it doesn't matter what I do on 17. I'm only trying to do great stuff on kind of the hole I'm presented, Golf's so funny, right? Like the moment we get to where we want to be, we freak out. You're even going into 17 and you're like, but I'll screw this up. And it's like you've been practicing for 10 years to get to even through 17.
So, and we'll talk about this again on the podcast later, but, do you realize that you are a big reason that I started the podcast?
Because we had the conversation at WeCopa? Is that where we were?
Yeah, I think, well, you invited me on yours, and I was like honored. I had never really been on a podcast, and it was really fun. Like, I just had a good time talking with you. It was easy, and you were like, dude, that was a good podcast. And I was like, really? I
loved it, yeah. Well, I mean, I like, what I learned is that, what I've learned, at least in my world, and I'm sure you could speak on it too, is, you can get a Tiger Woods or a Dustin Johnson or a Phil Mickelson on the pod, but like, sometimes you get these people that are just in the golf world that come on that have these amazing stories. And I mean, that's almost more fun to me, It's like bringing the story out, like Patrick Koenig, like this dude's driving around in an RV all over the world, all over the country playing golf. Like that's unbelievable,
Right.
Like who doesn't want to hear that story?
Yeah, you're totally right. Actually, I've found that in the last year, like, people do not care about celebrity, they care about story.
Story always carries it. The celebrity brings people to it. The story keeps people there. You and I were talking about like consuming golf and how that's kind of changed and how golf, I've had this conversation before about how golf 10 years ago was like professional golf, and that's what golf fans were.
Yeah.
And I think there's been a big movement towards golf fans consume golf that has nothing to do with professional golf. You know, it's travel trips, it's buddy trips, it's finding new places to play, it's finding different places to play that maybe you've never heard of. And there's a group of people that have opened kind of my eyes to this whole other world of golf that I didn't really even understand existed.